now I'm gonna talk about what we didn't talk in our last the last part of our study regarding the Sumerians. Okay, let me see over here. Okay, we didn't talk about this. Let me see. Let's move on. Let's go to the other invention. Okay, we mentioned already the cuneiform, the writing invention. Now let's talk about others inventions. Okay.
Main idea. Technical advances and inventions change Sumerian lives. Advances and inventions. Writing was not the only great Sumerian invention. These early people made many other advances and discoveries. Technical advances. Technological innovations and the use of domesticated animals improved the quality of life for many Sumerians. One of the Sumerians' most important developments was the wheel. They were the first people to build wheeled vehicles, including carts and wagons. Using the wheel, Sumerians invented a device that spins clay as a craftsperson shapes it into bowls. This device is called a potter's wheel.
Okay, let's move on, guys.
The plow was another important Sumerian invention. Pulled by domesticated oxen, plows broke through the hard clay soil of Sumer to prepare it for planting. In addition to using domesticated oxen to pull plows, Sumerians also raised domesticated cattle, goats, and sheep to provide meat, milk, and wool. Sumerians used domesticated animals such as cattle to help pull heavy loads. The use of plows, like this one, increased food production. The Sumerians were among the first people in the world to build sailboats. Transporting goods along one of the great rivers on sailboats was much more efficient than using pack animals or carts with wheels. Sumerian advances improved daily life in many ways. Sumerians built sewers under city streets. They also invented a clock that used falling water to measure time. They even produced makeup and glass jewelry. Sumer was one of the places in the world that saw the start of the Bronze Age, when humans began making tools out of metals rather than stone. Sumerians learned that combining copper and tin formed a stronger metal called bronze. Stronger bronze tools made it easier for Sumerians to construct larger cities.
Okay, now let's watch this video that talks also about the inventions, okay? So you have more ideas.
The wheel is one of the oldest inventions of humanity, and for sure one of the most important. Contemporarily, we couldn't imagine a world without it, since it is crucial for many things. But not only for vehicles like cars or bicycles, but also, for example, for the function of a watch or a merry-go-round. The wheel was first seen on small clay tables, discovered in Mesopotamia. These tables represent a car with wheels and are more than 5,000 years old. According to archaeologists, the wheel was invented in Mesopotamia over 6,000 years ago, but we don't know who the inventor was. Supposedly, the first wheel was invented after the first human beings used cylindrical tree trunks to move heavy things. Observing this, someone very intelligent must have thought that making a wooden circle with an axis, like current wheelbarrows, it would be much easier. And from then on, the first potter's wheel cars appeared. Crafts were the first to use the wheel, and it made it easier and faster for potters to make their pots. Thanks to the potter's wheel. Here we can see how two wheels and an axis help this craftsman endlessly. Through time, the wheel was also used in transport. Animals didn't have to carry heavy weights on their backs. Now, thanks to wheels, they pulled the cars and moved a lot.
Okay, in this video, they only talk about one invention, that is the wheel, okay? But there are other inventions. So also, as the last section in this class, I wanna play this video, okay? This is one of the inventions also they create based on bronze, on copper, okay? They make a lot of inventions like these ones.
When bronze first hit the human scene, it transformed cultures extremely rapidly. Before bronze, you had copper, and you could dig copper out of the ground, you could melt it, you could hammer it, you could shape it when it's cold. So it would be good as a weapon, but it was just too malleable to really be effective.
Somewhere around 3000 BC, somebody took two different metals and alloyed them together. Copper, which has a melting point of over 1,000 degrees Celsius, and tin, which has a melting point of only about 200 degrees. Suddenly, it made a stronger metal.
Once that innovation hit the ancient world, particularly the Near East, everybody needs tin.
Some places where you had good supplies of copper, you didn't have good supplies of tin. So for example, in Turkey, which was a major copper center, they needed to bring tin in from Central Asia.
So tin's rareness, combined with our human desires for the products of bronze, make it extremely valuable for the ancients.
Here you start to see the rise of literally international trade. They would bring the tin to Turkey, the artisans would make really high quality bronze and tools and other things out of it, and then they would begin to export those.
Bronze has the ability to take on a number of different shapes, to take on a number of different weights, to be constructed into a number of different forms that can be useful to people as tools or weapons. And you could argue that it's not the tools that people are really interested in, it's the weapons.
The importance of metal in early societies can't be overestimated.
An army equipped with bronze-tipped weapons was almost unbeatable against the more primitive weapons of any force they might come up against.
Okie dokie, this was all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Now remember, during the weekend, please focus